ones. It's been so long since I last did one of these. If you are still around in the channel, thank you for sticking around. It's been, I believe, like 2 to 3 months since I last posted. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. I will hopefully be posting more regularly. So today I am back and I wanted to do a pick a card reading, and this is going to be action steps that you need to take right now. Like, what do you need to do right now? What practical steps do you need to take right now? As a reminder, the pick a card readings are general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it doesn't fit, do not force it to fit. And today we're going to have 3 piles. And pile number 1 is going to be this Agate Moon. Pile number 2 is going to be the Agate Lightning Bolt. And pile number 3 is going to be the Obsidian Snake. Take a few minutes, pause the video if you need to. Ask yourself which pile or piles have a message for you. And let's jump into the reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be a reading if you were drawn to the Agate Moon with that beautiful druzy, one of my favorites. We're going to put that right over to the side there. And as a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And we're going to look at action steps that you can take right now. What are the practical steps that you need to take, that you are advised to take at this time? Again, if it does not fit, if it does not resonate, do not try to make it fit. You know yourself best. But let's jump right in to the tarot and see what we have here. Sun. Okay. 4 of Cups. Okay, I'm starting to see the story here. And Queen of Cups. Okay, so for my pile number 1s, it's not necessarily that... I don't think my pile number 1s, you necessarily struggle with action. I think right now, it's almost about giving yourself a break. Because we have the Sun. And the Sun is all about joy, gratitude, happiness. It's one of the happiest, or if not the happiest card in tarot. But we also have the 4 of Cups in the center here. And the 4 of Cups is an energy of frustration, boredom, stagnancy, apathy. It's, the focusing on what hasn't happened or what hasn't worked. With the 4 of Cups, usually there is some sort of focus on the past, where, I can't believe this didn't happen. I can't believe this didn't pan out. I can't believe, I haven't received this. I can't believe this hasn't worked out. But there's kind of a focus on the past. And we see her kind of looking towards the left here. We see her kind of focused on the left, which represents the past, right? Like if we look to the left, it's what has passed, usually. So what she doesn't see is that there are opportunities right in front of her. And she can't see that because she's so focused on either what has been lost, on those empty cups there, what has not worked out in the way that she wanted to, what hasn't panned out, what wasn't meant for her. Because I am a firm believer that if something is meant for you, it will not and cannot be taken from you. Maybe it's meant for you and it doesn't happen right at that moment because it's not the right time. But if it's meant for you, it cannot pass you. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is, the Queen of Cups is all about nurturing. She's very intuitive. She's a healer, right? She's very much in tune with spirit, with her higher self, with who she is, what she is. She allows her emotions to flow freely. So for my pile number 1s, the practical action right now that's needed from you is maybe doing some sort of practice where you are practicing gratitude. Doing a practice where you are looking at what's right in front of you. Because sometimes when we're so focused on the past, when we're so focused on what hasn't happened, on what hasn't worked out, whatever it is that you may be focusing on, it's hard to see what's right in front of us. And it's almost a change of perspective. So when I decided to lay this out, I was looking for action steps as in maybe something more concrete. For my pile number 1s, and it's interesting because you chose the moon. And the moon is more subtle. It's more about the internal world. It's the intuition. It's the feelings, all of those things if you look at the moon in astrology. For my pile number 1s, this is more about internally taking action and changing some things. And I think for my pile number ones, one thing that you can do is a gratitude practice, looking at your perspective, and also meditation or some form of connecting to your higher self, whatever that means for you. If it's meditation, if it's journaling, if it's contemplation, whatever that means for you, but it's action around where you are currently at and what you are focused on. It's action on saying, let me broaden my viewpoint at this point. Let me look at what else is out there for me, because it almost feels like there's an opportunity that you cannot see or you cannot appreciate because it's not exactly what you envisioned it being. But it doesn't mean that it's not going to bring happiness and joy. Another thing for my pile number ones is that there is joy, happiness, contentment available to you right at this moment. You don't have to actually, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go anywhere. It's available to you, but it requires a little bit of a tweak. So for my pile number ones, this is more of tweaking something to be able to see something else. It's about, what am I focused on? And if I take a step back, what else is there for me to see? Because sometimes when we are so close to the situation, right, when it's us, it's very hard to take a step back and say, you know what, it's probably not as bad as I think. It's probably, there are solutions. That door closed, but this window is open. This window is at least cracked open, and I can get it fully open, and I can go through that window. It's also hard to say to ourselves, like, that didn't work out because maybe it wasn't for me, but something equally as good or even better is for me, and it will come for me. So I feel like for my pile number ones, life has been feeling very heavy. Things have not been going your way. And some of you are stuck in a place of apathy right now, where it's like, no matter what, it doesn't quite work out the way that I wanted to. So I'm kind of just blah right now. Some of you are going through a dark night of the soul, but you definitely have the opportunity to get out of that. And it's almost like even if you are in darkness, there's light. About to quote Dumbledore here, but there's light available to you. Even if it's a shimmer, but it's about you seeing it and using it to your advantage and deciding that that's what you are going to focus on. So this is a very internal process for my pile number ones. Let's take a look at the astrological energies that you're working with right now. We have second house owning. And we have Leo, I will. This is exactly what it comes down to. Some of you could be a Leo. You don't have to be, but we have to mention that we have Leo, I will, and we have the sun here, which is, the sun. Leo and the sun are very much connected. It's ruled by Leo. So very interesting so far. Some of you could be a Leo, but I think that at the end of the day, what the action that you need to take is figure out a way to re-spark, to reconnect to your will, to your confidence, to your determination, to you saying, this is what I want, so I'm going to go after it. For some of you, this has to do with second house matters. And it's not only, the second house deals with money, but it also deals with our worth. Do you feel worthy? Do you feel like you can accomplish the things that you want? This is very second house, very Leo, confidence, self-worth to me. So for my pile number ones, deciding. I feel like for pile number one, it's almost like a choice. Like you make that choice that I am going to connect to my willpower, that I'm going to go after what I want, that I deserve what I want, that I have earned what I want. That it is, your right to have the things that you want. That you are worthy of everything that you want. And stepping into that power, into that confidence. And once you step into that power, into that confidence, into that worthiness, once you step into that determination, there's no stopping you. Because again, right now it feels like a lot of apathy. I would also take a look at what's in your second house or in your natal chart and in the transits. For some of you, you may have Pluto in the second house, Venus in the second house, or the sun in the second house. Some of you, again, Leo, sun, moon, or rising. And some of you could definitely have some water in your chart. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, with Cancer and Pisces very strongly felt here. Some of you have Scorpio in the second house. And this is about you. It's almost like you're in that cycle. Some of you have Pluto in that second house, and you're in that cycle of figuring out that you get to create, that co-create your life, that you can manifest, that that you can find a different way. Even if the way that you thought it was going to happen doesn't pan out, you can find a different way. Let's see what we have with the Wisdom of the Oracle cards. Yang. Yeah, for this pile, it's about starting to take action. And then we have Peace. But taking action from a place, this is what it is. Like I said at the beginning, I don't feel like pile number 1 struggles with action. I don't feel that at all. I don't feel like this is a pile where it's like, I don't know what action to take. I don't know what to do. I don't get that at all from this pile. I think that you're actually very good at taking action. The thing that's coming in here is that instead of taking action from a place of, I'm trying to choose my words wisely because they mean a lot, but the word that's coming up is kind of desperation. Kind of a feeling like I need to take action because I need to do something versus I need to take action because this is what I'm guided to do. That's why this Queen of Cups is here, because it's like instead of taking action from a place of let me do something just to do something to see if it sticks, because I feel like when my pile number 1s, when you're kind of feeling stuck, you're the type that, you're going to kind of throw something at the wall and see if it sticks. Instead of doing that, sitting with yourself, connecting with your intuition, and taking focused and guided and intentional action towards your dreams. And sometimes the action that is focused, intentional, and needed at that time is more internal. And I think that right now this is about you internally working with yourself to figure out, where are you holding yourself back? Where are you doubting yourself? Where are you still holding on to something that perhaps wasn't for you, or at least wasn't for you at the time it came up? How are you holding yourself back from experiencing joy in the present moment? Are you connecting with your intuition? Are you nurturing yourself? This feels like a very internal process for my pile number 1s. And as you work on that internal process, then the external becomes more clear. Let's see what else we have. We have connection. And the Queen of Cups is all about connection. I think for some of you, it's definitely about reconnecting to yourself, to your body, reconnecting to your higher self. Again, not just doing things for the sake of doing things that are going to benefit you in some way. For some of my pile number 1s, yoga, stretching, some form of exercise would be very helpful right now, because it's almost like you need to reconnect the body, mind, and soul. There's kind of a little bit of a disconnect right now. And it has to do because for some of you, the mind is a little bit disconnected. It's a little bit, overwhelmed right now. So reconnecting. Again, yoga, exercise, obviously check in with your medical provider before you start anything. But for some of you, that would be helpful. And change. And look at that snake. Change is coming in here. And this is about allowing change. Because if you're in that 4 of Cups energy, you're kind of stagnant in it. Like we can see there's no movement. It's like I'm just sitting here and I'm just kind of like, even the posture, I'm just like lumped over. Like there's no movement. It's like, whatever is what you get from the image, where it's like, I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to try anything. I'm just going to let whatever, it's just going to be whatever it is, it's what it is. There's no action. There's no movement. There's no like taking action or even looking like she wants to take action. So change is needed. We see that snake there, which is all about shedding the old and welcoming in the new. We see that snake being shed right on that card. And this is where you are at right now. And even in her face, on this change card, we kind of see that sense of apathy showing through where it's like, okay, but and I think that's why movement would be so helpful, because it would get some of you out of that stagnancy. Sometimes when we move our bodies, we get, the energy moving. We get the energy flowing within our chakras, within our bodies, within our aura. Let's see what else we have here. We have Gaia. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. So again, and Gaia, Venus energy. Some of you have Venus in that second house or a Leo Venus. But with Gaia here, reconnecting. Gaia and connection, and Gaia and the Queen of Cups, very closely related. This is about you reconnecting, grounding yourself, finding your inspiration, finding the things, finding what makes you want to get up every morning and keep going. Gaia is Earth. She's Mother Earth. She has the ability to create, to destroy, to recreate. And I think that for some of you, you're right now in a place of sitting in destruction, sitting in something that didn't quite pan out, didn't quite work out, but you have the ability to grow it into something. And one thing that I want to remind my pile number ones is that the seasons, right? I think that this is a pile that's very close to Earth, very close to Mother Earth, maybe even Gaia, very close to the seasons, the moon cycles, all of those things. And remember, we have winter, but we also have summer. We have spring and we have fall. Everything has its cycle. There's going to be times where life is going to slow down and not much is going to be happening. Make the best of that time. Just don't stay in your winter. Move towards your spring and then your summer. And then you're going to have your fall again and then the winter again, because again, it's cycles. And I feel like this pile works incredibly well with the elements, the seasons, and the moon cycles. And I think that you're also affected by all of those things. Since we're talking seasons, moon cycles, and all those things, let's look at your animal, the animal that is here to help you. And we have the condor. You are too enmeshed in this situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking action. What did I say earlier? That sums it up. Sometimes we are too close in our own situation to be able to look at it objectively. And it's easier to say nothing is happening, nothing is working, because you're so involved in it, you're so close to it, you can't see anything else. So for some of you right now, it's about doing some reconnection, doing something light. It's not about taking major action. That will come. But first, you need to kind of see what you're dealing with. Perspective is everything for this pile right now. Let's take a look at this message. Then we're going to look at the goddess that is here for you. Broken dreams. Only you can accept or reject your dreams. Wow, look at the image on this. Look at the mirror. The mirror is cracked. We have that egg there, which has... Let me take a look. Hold on, I can't really see it. Yeah, it's a hatched egg with nothing inside of it. This is the first time I pull this card from this deck. All right, let's talk about it. Pile number one. That Four of Cups meant a lot to you. Again, I don't know. For some of you, it's something from the past. For others of you, it's almost like this thing that never materialized. This thing that hasn't happened yet. And for some of you, it's shattered you. That's that mirror. That mirror is shattered. And for some of you, like you're shattered. Your dreams were shattered for some reason. For some of you, it may even be an outside person telling you what can and cannot happen for you. Do not let anyone try to tell you what can and cannot happen for you. Do not let anyone try to convince you of what can and cannot be. Like the card says, only you can accept or reject your dreams. And for some of you, you're rejecting it not because you want to, but because it hasn't happened yet, or it hasn't happened in the way that you wanted it to. Again, for some of you, it's a little bit of a tweak that is needed. Like, I think that for some of you, whatever this dream is, whatever this is, it's right. It may just need to be tweaked just a little bit. And with that Queen of Cups, you have the opportunity to figure that out. to expand, to change, to grow it. But you need to re-engage yourself back in. Let's take a look at the goddess that's here for you. Oh, whew. Hold on. I love this. We have Diana. Very closely related to Artemis. Different pantheons, but very closely related. With action, focused intent. What did I say at the beginning? And I do not see the cards before you do. What did I say at the beginning? It's not about just taking action. It's not about doing things and throwing it to the wall to see what sticks. It's about figuring out, what do you want to do? Make peace with it and taking focused, intentional action. And I promise you I did not see that card before you did. But that is the message here. And I think that right now the action that needs to be taken is more internal so that you know what this looks like. For some of you working with the goddess Diana or Artemis, they're very closely related. Definitely if you have an altar working with that and adding something in for Diana or Artemis, and some of you working with the moon cycles, the seasons, and the elements would be very helpful. But pile number 1. Take this from it. Only you can accept or reject your dreams. It is up to you, no one else. You know what is worth, you know what's worth your energy, time, and effort, and you know what is not. Do not walk away from something that you want simply because someone has told you so or because it hasn't panned out the way that you want it to. If you know in your heart it is for you, trust that. You're too enmeshed. Step back and see the bigger picture. Pile number 1, that is all I have for you. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Feel free to share it if you think it's worth sharing. And please like, subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to see next on the channel. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm sending you so much love, so many blessings, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to this Agate Lightning bolt. I wonder if somebody's named Agnes, because that's what I was going to say, Agnes. Agate Lightning bolt. So let's get started. As a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. If it does not fit, do not make it fit. You know yourself best. But we are looking at action steps needed right now. 2 of Cups. Very interesting. 9 of Pentacles. Okay. And then we have the Star. Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles at the center here. And I think that my pile number 2s, I mean, you picked the lightning bolt, which is kind of, let's go, very action, like very always on the go, always moving, willing to do what needs to be done. So I feel like for my pile 2, with the 9 of Pentacles here, you are someone who is quite abundant, or you have the ability to become very abundant in this lifetime. You are very driven, very focused. Success means a lot to you. You want to accomplish a lot of things, and you are not afraid to do the work to get to accomplish those things. But we have the 2 of Cups here, which is very interesting. And I don't always read the 2 of Cups as like romance, relationships. There's different meanings to different cards, especially in different, when it comes to different topics. But the first thing I saw when I saw this card was it's time to connect. It's time to build connections. And sometimes I can say, you know, the 2 of Cups is about connecting within self, bringing yourself to balance, all of those things. But I'm getting, it's time to connect. It's time to kind of, you've been doing things on your own. You're very good at that. You're very good at manifesting. You're very good at doing what you need to do. And you're very good at solo work. You may have your own business. You may work alone. You may be the boss, whatever the case is. But it's kind of time to bring some sort of connection, community, some sort of soulmates in. And it could be that my pile number 2s, and I say this respectfully, it could be that my pile number 2s are my workaholics, where you kind of focus so much on work and on what needs to be done and responsibilities and doing the things to kind of avoid having to deal with other sides such as connections. You may be, so focused that you sometimes lose track of connecting with friends, family, making new connections, especially in romance. I feel like a lot of my pile number twos are single. And I feel like a lot of my pile number twos, there's kind of this push and pull. This is not going to be for everybody, but for some of you. There's this push and pull of wanting to meet someone in the romantic sense, but at the same time, perhaps feeling like, you know what, I need to accomplish something else. I need to focus on something else. I'll do this when I get this. I have to get my money right. I have to get my house. I have to get my car. I have to get whatever it is. I have to get it in order. It feels very material. And for my pile number twos, the action is actually to kind of slow down a bit is what I'm getting. For some of you, doing some sort of healing work, some sort of connection. And this could be connection to spirit, but I'll be honest, for most of you, I feel like this is connecting to other people, connecting to soulmates, connecting to community, something along those lines. Because I feel like you've been hard at work, doing your thing, accomplishing, which congratulations. This is beautiful energy to have. But again, it's time to kind of bring more players in. It's kind of time to allow yourself to connect, to feel connected to whether it's friends, family, making new connections, whatever that means for you. And with the star here, definitely, you're gonna get what you want. For some of you, you want to be recognized, you want to be seen, you want to make it big. That's gonna happen for you. But what I'm getting is Spirit is saying, but can we take a little bit of a break in order to allow more relationships to flourish, more relationships to grow? Can you bring more balance in? Can you accept that you don't have to do it alone? You don't have to go at it alone. That you can connect to other people and that you can find some sort of balance where you are able to share, to have support, to give support, to have that soulmate connection. Again, it doesn't have to be a romantic soulmate. Soulmates are about, that soul family, that sense of feeling at home, feeling seen, accepted, heard, having someone to talk to, having someone to connect with. Let's take a look at what we have as far as astrology. First, we have Taurus. There's a lot of, with that Nine of Pentacles especially, I feel like there's a focus, and that there's nothing wrong with this. I feel like there is a focus on like the things that I have, the things that I want to accomplish, the things that I want to do. Some of you are definitely Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Could be Aquarius as well. Could be Virgo or Capricorn. Some of you have a North Node in Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces is what I'm getting as well. And then we have Pluto transformation. Yeah, you're kind of being asked to be open to some sort of transformation right now. To be open to allowing things to change a bit. And this feels like going from, and again, it's not saying don't work hard to get to where you want to be. You can have material things, you can have success, like for you, whatever success means for you, you're going to have it. And I feel like for you, there is a little bit of that like material thing. Like I want, maybe the house, the car, I want to be comfortable. You deserve that. You've earned that. You're working for that. You're going to continue to have that. But how can you open up a bit more for some other things to come in, to experience other sides of life? Because with Pluto here, Pluto is all about destruction and rebirth, right? It's that transformation. It's very, it's a lot of change. So what needs to be transformed in your life? Some of you have, Taurus, Pluto. That could be, actually, I'm trying to think. Generationally, I don't think, no, probably not. You probably don't have that. Um, but definitely Pluto in the second house, Pluto in the eighth house coming in. Taurus in the second house or Taurus in the eighth house as well. I want to see, let's see what the wisdom of the oracle has. New life. Yeah, there's some sort of new beginning here available to you. And I think you've been feeling this push. I think you've been feeling the desire for more. I really do get that. I really do believe my pile number 2 is you're kind of being called to do something differently. And I think that some of you really are feeling that need to connect, that need to have those connections, to build new connections, or at the very least, reconnect to the people in your life. Let's see what we have here. Go the distance. So this is saying, pile number 2, you can create balance. And right now it's about creating balance. That is the action step that you need to take. Finding a way to create balance between this individual, I'm going to do the work, I'm going to worry about my money, I'm going to worry about my success, I'm going to make it happen. This is very like Knight of Swords energy, but it's also like meets the Knight of Cups, where I have the time to connect. Like it's not all work, work, work. It doesn't have to be all fun either, but it has to be more balanced in what you are bringing in. You have a dream, you have a wish, it's going to be granted. You are already on the way there. You will be successful. You will be abundant. But pile number 2, look at your life and think about, what do you want that abundance, that success, that happiness to look like? Do you want it to be one of those things where you get to the top and you're on your own? Or do you want to maybe take people with you? Have those significant, reliable, committed, dedicated relationships in your life? Because I think that to some degree, for some of you, at times you do feel lonely. Or you do feel like it would be nice to have support. And it's kind of saying like, we have this for you, but you need to make the effort. Let's see what we have with these 2 cards. Solitude. Yeah, I think some of you spend quite a bit of time in solitude. And I will say, if this is not resonating for you, because I feel like for 1 or 2 of you, it could be that you need more solitude, but for the great majority of you, it's that sense of you enjoy being by yourself. Some of you, you don't enjoy like loud parties, bar scene, any of that. That's fine. There are people that also don't enjoy that you can find and you can connect with. And again, it's not to take away from your focus. It's not to take away from what you're trying to accomplish, but it's to add to it. Some of you have the fox as a spirit animal, as a totem animal. For my pile number 2s, you're someone who is very... I think that you're someone who at times you kind of, in the past, I don't feel like this is necessarily the case now, but in the past, at times you've changed to fit in and you don't want to do that anymore. Like perhaps the crowds that were around you were not the right ones and you felt like you had to kind of fit into that or make yourself fit in, and it's kind of reached a point where like, you don't want to try that. You don't want to do that anymore. That's fine, but there are people out there that you can connect with. And then we have challenge. Yeah. My pile number 2s, you are like, I'm seeing this game of chess and it's like you are intelligent. You are a force to be reckoned with. And I will say for my pile number 2s, I feel like sometimes you can intimidate other people. And perhaps like you haven't had the best relationships, friends in your life, and it kind of has left you in a place of like, I'd rather be alone, I'd rather do this on my own than have to connect with certain people, or have to maybe change myself to fit in, or maybe adapt who I am to fit in, or have to do the things that I don't want to do. For some of you, for some reason, whether it's like you like to play chess or not, but like gaming like maybe going to like a gaming store or gaming event and meeting some people there. I'm not getting video games. I'm getting like, what is it? Dragons and dungeons, things like that, like chess, dragons and dungeons, like those sort of like very games where you have to think, where you have to like storytelling type of games. That's coming in. Take it if it resonates. I don't know where that's coming from. But I do know there's stores like that because there's one by me and it's always packed and I always want to go in, but I know nothing about the game, so I haven't done it. Let's see what animal is here for my pile number 2s. And we have the spider. Trust the creative spark you're feeling and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. The spider is all about creation. There's a creation of a new life happening. For some of you working with the spider, spirit animal, animal totem, whatever it is that you want to work with, power animal would be very helpful right now. Be careful with the stories that you tell yourself. Especially if you've had a hard time making friends or making connection or keeping connections together. Be careful with that story because not everybody's the same. There are different people out there that can offer different things. See what we have here. Confusion. Growth hurts, heals, and harnesses away through the uncertainty. Very interesting because you chose the lightning bolt. And look at this up here. So, again, pile number 2. I feel like you're very good at getting things done. You're very good at manifesting. You're very good at, you could be running a business. You could have a career, whatever it is. You're very good at all those things. But at the same time, I feel like there's something more that you want and need. And you need to be able to put a little bit of effort towards that. And again, I personally feel like this is about connection. Building connections, establishing connections that are healthy, that are good for you and everybody involved. And like this says, growth hurts, heals, and harnesses away through the uncertainty. So, it may be scary to reconnect to certain people or to make new friends, but there's a way. And as you find that way, you can move through that level of uncertainty and maybe nervousness and a little bit of fear that's happening. Let's take a look at who your goddess is. Ooh, Persephone with introspection and limbo. This is actually what I'm feeling is happening. Like I'm feeling like my pile number 2s went into some sort of introspection. Like you started to kind of, I feel like at some point, pile number 2, for many of you, you were really into, friendships and trying to build those friendships, and they just weren't satisfying you because they were not with the right people. So you kind of learned how to kind of go within and be a little bit of a hermit, a little bit of a lone wolf, and you've gotten comfortable in that. But now you know that you want and you need more. But there's kind of this sense of like, well, how do I do that? And it is going to require, a little bit of growing pains. It is going to require a little bit of putting yourself out there, doing new things, actively trying to make connections. But they're there for you. And you've got this. You've got this, pile number 2. Some of you definitely work with Persephone. 222 is a very important number. Some of you could be a life path number 2 or a heart's desire number 2. And it's very interesting because part of your purpose, part of what you're here to experience in this lifetime is connection and bringing yourself to balance and being in connection, relationships, all of those things. All right, pile number 2, that is all I have for you. Thank you for being here. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you'd like to see next. I'm sending you so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you chose the Obsidian Snake. Pile number 3. Same. It's my favorite stone I own. So, as a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not try to make it fit. So we're going to be looking at action steps, practical action steps that are needed right now. And I'm sorry if you hear the rain, the storm just picked up, but it's part of the vibe, so we're going to keep going. So let's see. 10 of Cups. I like it. Judgment. Okay. All right, pile number 3 and 4 of Swords. Okay, so pile number 3, action steps needed right now. We have Judgment at the center of this. And Judgment to me is a card that says there is a whisper within you that is now becoming a loud scream. There is something that is within you, some sort of something your higher self, your spirit is trying to communicate. It's usually the higher self that's coming in and saying, like, this is your truth. This is what you are here for. This is what needs to be done. The Ten of Cups is a card of satisfaction, emotional satisfaction, connection, community. It's all the happy things, right? And then we have the Four of Swords, which is a card of rest. It's a card of burnout as well. It's a card that says you're either about to burn out or you've reached the point of burnout. For some reason, I feel like for many of my pile number 3s, you've reached a point of burnout. You're either very, very close where you're starting to feel it, where maybe you're feeling a little bit more tired than usual. Maybe you're pushing through, but you know it's coming. But I do feel for some of you, you've reached that point of like, I'm completely burnt out at this point. And it feels like this was kind of orchestrated by Spirit in some way, because it's time for you to reconnect. I'm going to be honest, this feels like something very spiritually oriented. Like it feels like this is happening because you're meant to connect to your higher self. And instead of this being like an action that you need to take where it's like, I'm going to go apply for the job. I'm going to go find the relationship. I'm going to go clean the house. This feels more like I'm going to slow down and I'm going to figure out what my higher self is saying to me. I'm going to figure out who I am. I'm going to figure out what's driving me forward. I'm going to figure out what the Ten of Cups means for me. And again, the Ten of Cups is satisfaction. Emotional satisfaction. Feeling connected. Not only connected to the people around you, that's one part of the Ten of Cups, but feeling connected to yourself, to spirit, to oneness consciousness, right? Not everybody can experience oneness, or not everybody does experience oneness. But for those that do, feeling that you are connected, that you are part of that bigger machine, that you can understand people. For my pile number 3. You are not pile number 2. For my pile number 3s, a lot of you are very sensitive to energy. You could be an empath. I'm just getting a very sensitive to energy, very sensitive to the environment as well. And to just energies all around you, like other people's energies, the energy of the environment that you're in. Just a very sensitive energy for my pile number 3s. So, as far as practical action, I feel like for some of you right now, it's a time to rest, relax, regenerate, and restore your energy. It's also action as far as connecting, listening to your higher self, listening to your soul. Very spiritual pile so far. Listening to those whispers that are becoming louder and louder that are saying, this is what we need to do. Listening to those things that you know that would make you happy and those things that are not making you so happy. Let's take a look at what we have as far as astrology. What energies we're working with here. North Node. Yeah, I don't see the cards before you do. I promise I don't. The North Node is the destiny, the life purpose. It's, what you are here to accomplish. With that Judgment here and North Node, this message for me is confirmed. Right now, the action step for you is to allow yourself to figure out what your life's purpose is, what you feel passionate about, what inspires you, what keeps you going. For some of you, you are aligning to your North Node. You are leaving behind certain ways of doing things and moving towards a new way of doing things. I highly recommend, if you do not know what your North Node sign and house is, that you look that up. You can look it up on astro.com. You can look it up on cafeastrology.com. It would be free on both of those sites, and they are both Very good sites and trusted. But look up your North Node. Some of you have a North Node in Pisces, Cancer, Gemini, and Aquarius. That's the North Nodes I'm getting. Yeah, some of you have that North Node where it's now calling to you. You've reached a point where you know there's more, where you know what you want, you know where you want to go, or at the very least, you know that you're supposed to go somewhere. You realize that the old way of doing things is not quite working. It's not quite panning out anymore, and you're looking for that satisfaction. You are looking for feeling like you are exactly where you belong, like that feeling of like I'm where I belong. I'm doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. We also, wow, okay. We have the moon and North Node showing up here. All right, so with the moon in astrology is all about your feelings, how you express your feelings, how it's your internal landscape. How you express your feelings, how you feel your feelings, how they present. But it's also a connection to your soul, the things that matter to you. Some of you have the moon north and conjunct the North Node. Some of you have moon conjunct North Node in the 8th, 9th, or 10th house. If it's not conjunct, it's a trine or it's there's some sort of aspecting between the moon and North Node for some of you. For others of you, this North Node is activating your moon sign. It's activating that need for more, that drive for more, that drive for understanding. Some of you are very much in your feelings right now. Because you know there's more for you. You know there's something that you're supposed to do. You know there's something that's calling your name. And for some of my pile number 3s, you know exactly what that is. For others of you, you may not know exactly what it is, but you know, it's like you may not know exactly what it is, but you know there's something. And you've been working on becoming more authentic to who you are. On saying, this is who I am, this is what I represent, and I'm okay with that. And you're showing up every single day, doing the work. You've gotten to this point for some of my pile number 3s. I don't know if you can hear the sirens going off in the background right now, but absolutely, it was kind of that energy that I'm getting of like, you can't keep ignoring certain things at this point. And it's really activating your North Node and your feelings because you know there's more. For some of you, what you're struggling is how to take action on that actively. And I'm going to be honest, I know this is a reading about action. It's not telling me exactly what that is, because I think you need to figure out exactly what it is that you want, and then it's going to start to make sense for you. Because the immediate action for most of you is just kind of taking a break, giving yourself a little bit of a break. Let's see what else we have here. Observer. Yeah, you're kind of in a place of observation right now. It's not the time to take action just yet. It's the time to observe and learn. And then we have yin. Yep. For my pile number 3s, you're still kind of trying to work with this energy, but it's not necessarily time for action just yet. That's what I'm getting. It's like you're in the receptive place of like, taking a rest, allowing yourself to rest, allowing yourself to regenerate, to go within, to figure out what it is that you want. And then after you do this, the next steps become clear. Right now, for pile number 3, you're kind of being asked to go into non-action, to go into, connecting, introspection type of energy. Let's see what we have. Sensuality, very interesting. To me, sensuality is connecting to the body, connecting to self, right? Being vulnerable, showing up as you are. And we have sanctuary. Absolutely. Some of you right now, this is the time to work with yourself. For some of you, you're kind of going into a little bit of a hermit mode, and that's completely fine. Some of you reading, writing right now would be very helpful. Like reading about some things, also writing, journaling, um, spiritual bath for some of you, connecting to water. If you can go to like the beach, the lake, some sort of natural body of water where you can safely connect to water, to the element of water in that way. But with sensuality here, some of you are fully stepping into your vulnerability and being fully vulnerable with yourself. You are connecting to passion. The color red, very important right now. I will also say pile number 3, make sure that you are working with your root chakra. Make sure that you are, keeping yourself grounded, because there's a lot happening and your third eye and your crown chakra are very active at this time, which can make it very easy for you to become a little bit imbalanced and a little bit, flighty. So working with the root chakra, very important at this time. But also, with this color red, your passions are coming in. Very interesting. Let's take a look at the animal that we have for my pile number 3s. And we have the shark. Trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. And that's what's happening. Judgment is truth. It's your truth. But you need to trust your instincts. And that's why right now it's almost like a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a sanctuary, a little bit of, solitude, taking a time out, being more of the observer, stepping into the divine feminine energy instead of going, instead of doing. Because there's a lot that's still coming in, there's a lot that's still unfolding, and you need to hold space for your intuition and your instincts to show up and show you the way. Because I feel like for most of you, this is still unfolding. You're still learning about what exactly it is that you want. What is it that drives you? Like, I think you have a general idea, but there's a lot that's still unfolding. And this is why you kind of need this little time of sanctuary. Working with rose quartz, amethyst, and obsidian, jet, or black onyx would be very helpful at this time. See what we have here. Transitions. You have all the inner resources you need to cross whatever bridges arise on your path. You're very wise, pile number 3, and you're in a transition right now. This is why it's time to kind of take a break. Instead of so much action, it's about kind of taking a little bit of a break, allowing things to unfold. Obviously, we all have jobs, we all have those things, so we're doing those things, but the action that's needed right now is also holding space for yourself and holding space for this process. But just know that you have exactly what you need to get to the other side. 37, 3 plus 7, 10, you are definitely closing out a cycle. Some of you, again, are moving past the south node and moving into the north node. And it's a transition. It takes a little bit of time. For my pile number 3, some of you have a very strong connection to astrology. You could be an astrologer. You could be an enthusiast. In a past life, you could have been an astrologer. I think it would come very natural to you. I highly recommend you, at the very least, look up your north node. Let's see what we have here as far as the goddess supporting you on this journey. Athena with strategy, clarity, intellect. Absolutely. Very spiritual time for this pile. You're very wise. Clarity is coming in. Allow it to come in. Allow it to unfold. It's not, it takes a little bit, sometimes it takes a little bit of time, a few months I'm getting a few months for some of you to kind of start to see that puzzle come together, because I feel like you're getting a lot of synchronicity, a lot of like little puzzle pieces. For my pile number 3s, many of you are claircognizant. So clear knowing, you kind of get downloads of information. So the puzzle will come together. Some of you have the owl as a spirit animal, as a totem animal. Work with the owl. And you're coming up with a strategy. But it's going to take a little bit of time for most of you for this to come together. Just be patient with yourself. Take care of yourself. Get rest. Spend some time alone, recharging. Some of you candle magic as well. Lighting a white candle, sometimes if you feel the need, to Athena, or a yellow candle. asking for clarity. I'm also getting like a tea. I'm trying to figure out what type of tea this is. Is it the anise? The star? I believe that's it. That's the type of tea I'm seeing. There could be a blend out there for like clarity. I know I've seen all sorts of tea blends, so that could definitely be an option. But pile number 3, you're definitely growing, you're transforming. Just allow it to unfold. Some of you have the ancestors very close by that you can work with. Maybe that's, yeah, definitely the ancestors. All right, pile number 3, that is all I have for you. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what you'd like to see next on the channel. I'm sending you so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.